Welcome back to bestofmarin.com, where we do our best to give you the rundown on all things happening around the county and where to find the best places to go in Marin. Today's mission is a deep dive into Point Reyes Station.
Yeah, it's this completely improbable little town of just like 895 people, right?
Exactly 895. But somehow it boasts world-class food, a really fierce independent streak, and direct access to 70,000 acres of protected wilderness.
Which is wild. I mean, building a town directly on top of the San Andreas Fault is already just a crazy premise.
Yeah, and let's go back to the origins for a second.
Yeah.
Because originally this area was home to nearly 3,000 Coast Miwok people, which is the true deep historical foundation of the peninsula.
Absolutely. But the modern town itself, it only exists because back in 1875, a railroad just decided to bypass the nearby town of Alima.
Oh, right. So they just dropped the tracks in a literal cow pasture instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was basically a happy accident of train logistics.
But wait, how does living right on top of a tectonic fault line? I mean, the 1906 earthquake visibly offset fences there by up to 6.1 meters. How does that forge a community that is so stubbornly grounded?
It's fascinating because those visible geological fractures connect directly to their roots. That level of volatility forces a very specific mindset.
So it's like trying to build a sandcastle right at the tide line. You can't pretend the ocean isn't there, so you just build it indestructible.
That's a great analogy. You stop caring about the superficial stuff. The 1906 earthquake actually weeded out fragile infrastructure.
Wow, really?
Yeah, what survived were the essential pragmatic agricultural roots. It bred this community built entirely on mutual reliance.
Which makes total sense when you look at the town today. That bedrock resilience translates directly to its modern footprint.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you walk down Main Street and it is literally just 3 wood frame blocks.
Yeah.
0 chain stores and no neon signs anywhere.
Just this extraordinary cultural density packed into those 3 blocks.
It's insane. You've got Toby's Feed Barn selling actual hay while simultaneously hosting a farmer's market so famous that Prince Charles visited.
Right, and then Point Reyes Books is just down the street, acting as this heavy-hitting intellectual hub.
Not to mention the food. People literally line up for morning buns at Bovine Bakery, and of course that famous Mount Tam triple cream cheese at Cowgirl Creamery.
Oh, the Mount Tam is just incredible.
It really is. But here is where I get tripped up by the whole thing. How does a tiny population of under 1,000 people sustain world-class artisanal food and art without just turning into a giant overpriced tourist trap?
Well, it all comes down to cross-subsidization. The gritty working agricultural economy is what actually sustains the culture.
Wait, so the town isn't just surviving on weekend visitors?
No, not at all. Toby's Feed Barn pays the rent by selling bulk feed to actual working dairy farmers. That steady agricultural baseline gives them the freedom to host things like the farmers market.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that. So the artisanal food isn't just imported to look quaint.
Exactly. It is born directly from the dairies that started the town. The art and the food are completely sustained by the local grit.
That is such a cool dynamic. But this cozy little curated community doesn't exist in a vacuum either. It sits right on the edge of the wild.
Right. It's the primary gateway to the national seashore. 70,000 acres of raw, untamed nature.
Yeah, you can brave 294 steps down to the historic 1870 Lighthouse.
Just getting completely battered by the Pacific Ocean.
Exactly. Or you can witness massive elephant seal rookeries at Chimney Rock and literally hike among free-roaming Tule elk.
And that intense juxtaposition is the secret to the whole experience there. You spend your day in this wild, foggy isolation.
Just feeling completely at the mercy of the elements.
Right, and then you retreat back to town for this warm farm-to-table dinner at the Station House Cafe. The harshness of the wilderness makes the warmth of the community feel so perfectly balanced.
It really brings us full circle to that geological tension. Somehow a community built directly on a tectonic fault line manages to be the most steadfast, grounded town in Marin.
Which leaves you with a pretty provocative thought.
Oh, definitely.
Consider the unstable fault lines in your own life. What feels shaky or unpredictable that might actually serve as the foundation for something extraordinary?
That is a great question for you all to mull over. Don't forget to sign up to our email list for updates on our next episode and latest events. Until next time, we will catch you on bestofmarin.com.